Oh, I'm running out of time. Hey, sleep deprivation, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite movies, and today I'm gonna be, uh, I'm gonna be reviewing the 20th MCU movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yes, I finally got to watch the movie. It's been a while, and yes, I've watched Infinity War, and I've watched Captain Marvel, but not the movie in between, so let's talk about this movie. So, yes, like I just said a couple seconds ago, this is MCU's 20th movie, so they better take it seriously. Turns out they did the exact opposite. This is a very lighthearted and a very fun and family friendly and refreshing movie because after the very depressing events of Infinity War, we desperately need something fun, something lighthearted. And this movie, in comparison, is very, very fun and lighthearted. And thus, it's actually a very nice breath of fresh air. And yeah, let's get into the plot. So, if you have watched Ant Man 1, if you haven't watched it, well, I'm gonna fill you in. So we have Scott Lang, who becomes Ant-Man because he met Hope Van Dyne and her dad, Hank Pym, and they created all these tech. And Hope's mom, aka Hank's wife, who's played by Michelle Pfeiffer, is killed, was killed because she went into the quantum realm and never came back. But at the end of Ant-Man 1, Scott went into the quantum realm and came back successfully. So Hank and Hope began to think that maybe they're gonna be able to bring their mom back. Maybe, just maybe. So that's basically the plot. But then all of a sudden, we have this woman, Ghost, whose father was killed because of an accident, and she has these powers that makes her phase through walls, that makes her phase through things in general, and she's always fading in and out of existence because the quantum realm is messing with her existence, and the person who's secretly helping her, not gonna spoil it. And at the same moment, we have the FBI chasing after Scott Lang because this movie took place after Civil War and Scott Lang was in house arrest. So we have the FBI in here, and then we have another dude who's a criminal, like a black market gang head, uh, Birch with it spelt with a U, played by Walton Goggins, and who's after Hank and Hope's tech. So yeah, it's actually pretty messy, not gonna lie. So let's start with the pros of the movie first. Let's get straight to the point. It's a really fun and exciting movie. I really, really like the car chase of the thing. It's actually really interesting to see small things chasing after medium-sized, normal-sized things chasing after large things. They're really, really fun. And the FBI scenes are actually really, really funny. I think it's Randall Park is his name, and he's the FBI agent who kind of hates Scott Lang, but also kind of wants to be his friend. So it's kind of awkward, kind of funny, and I actually enjoyed the scenes when the FBI was around. And other than that, Paul Rudd is amazing in the movie. Him as Ant-Man is awesome, and Ant-Man has this underdog quality to him that makes him shine as a superhero, not because he's particularly great or anything, but because he's underrated. He's an underdog. He's not that smart or that strong, but he's a man with a good heart. Also, fun fact, Lawrence Fishburne is in this movie, and damn, I really, really want a scene where Lawrence Fishburne's character and Nick Fury comes together and they're like, wait, have we seen each other before? Or maybe some other characters mix them up or something. That would be really fun, legit. But yes, Lawrence Fishburne is in this movie, and he's also in the DCEU movies. So what's going on, man? What's going on? And yeah, other than that, the rest of the things about the movie is just not really all that great in my opinion. First of all, even though there are a lot of good jokes in the movie, there are also a lot of jokes that seemed forced, like the whole truth serum scene. It's just really forced and kind of cliche. And then we have another scene where Ghost spends like 5 minutes talking about her origins, how she became Ghost, and in a really serious manner, and it just draws on for such a long time. It starts to become awkward. And then we have the action sequences in the movie, which are actually pretty entertaining, not gonna lie, but given that Ghost's powers is phasing through things, and Ant-Man and the Wasp's powers are shrinking and going big, most of the time, they're dodging each other. They're just dodging each other, and the other opponent is punching the air, kicking the air, whatever, and also, the writers attempt to put romance into the story by making Hope and Scott fall in love with each other, but it just feels so unnatural. There's no build up to it whatsoever. It's just this thing that pops up all of a sudden. And yeah, overall, this movie doesn't feel as significant as many other movies in the MCU, and in fact, this movie doesn't feel as good or as funny as Ant-Man 1. Maybe it's because Edgar Wright, the one and only Edgar Wright, was involved in Ant-Man 1, but yeah. My biggest issue with the movie is that the plot is just so messy, and even though it's so messy, even though there are like three groups of people trying to catch Hope, Hank, and Scott, and yeah, there isn't really a real villain in the movie. I guess you can call Ghost a villain, but not really, because she's more like an anti-hero. However, the post-credit scene is exactly how I predicted it to be. It just ends the way Avengers Infinity War ends, and Hope, Hank, and the other person got disintegrated. And yeah, also another thing I would like to add, Michael Pena on this movie is amazing. Really funny, nice comedic relief, even though Scott Lang is also a really funny person. And yeah, and then we have the second end credit scene, which is totally useless. So yeah, I'm gonna throw in a spoiler alert, a little spoiler alert. If you haven't watched the movie and you don't want the movie to be spoiled to you, well, skip this part. Timestamps in the comments below. First of all, at the climax of the movie, Hank Pym managed to dive into the quantum tunnel and went into the quantum realm to save his wife. And after 30 years without eating or drinking or anything, his wife is still alive and well, and she even has these powers now. And then back in real life, she used these powers to cure Ghost. For the entirety of the movie, Ghost had been trying so hard to look for a cure and, to stop the pain, and all of a sudden Michelle Pfeiffer shows up and cures her. And I think that that's really out of place. That seems rushed and out of place, and that doesn't seem like a very plausible explanation for how is Ghost cured, but whatever. And however, I do kind of know why does she has all these energy and she doesn't have to eat or drink or anything, because when she's so small, she doesn't really need to spend all that much energy. In fact, she didn't need to spend all that much energy, so much so that she had gained energy herself. So that's pretty interesting. But other than that, the movie is still meh. I'm not that impressed with the movie. I'm kind of lukewarm about it though. So yes, I'm saying Ant-Man and the Wasp is meh, and I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. So, have you watched Ant-Man and the Wasp? From 1 to 10, how much did you rate it? Like if you like it. And subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching.